and welcome to the Raising Keona podcast. My name is Marsh Naidu and I blog at raisingkeona.org, where we curate resources for families experiencing disabilities. This morning I am joined by Keona Gwinn. Keona is a Masters of Public Health candidate, and she is doing a concentration in maternal health. Keona, you are also CEO of Adaptability Beyond Limits. I am so thrilled to be talking with you this morning, and welcome to the Raising Keona podcast.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
Absolutely. Well, to get started, Keona, would you kindly just give us a little bit of your background and origin story?
Hi, everyone. I'm Keona Gwinn. I am 24 years old, a public health candidate, and pursuing a concentration in maternal child health. I was born with spina bifida myelomeningocele, and my lived experience impacted my ability to go to school and be able to apply that. I use a combination of AFOs, walking braces, and a motorized wheelchair day to day. And my lived experience really shaped how I see healthcare, how I see systems, how I see community, and how I am able to advocate within the public health sector.
Keona, now, I don't often get to meet guests that come onto the podcast like in person, but we actually got to meet 2 years ago at Disability Day on the Hill. And guys, it was an absolute pleasure talking with Keona, and just truly, there was just a connection and maybe a little bit of bias because we were both in healthcare, but nevertheless, just truly impressed with the work that this young lady is doing. Now, Keona, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Tennessee Disability Coalition because they put together Tennessee Disability Day of Advocacy, which is when families experiencing disabilities actually can go to the state legislature here in Nashville, Tennessee, to advocate for policy that would actually support individuals as well as families. And they have a day that's coming up on February the 25th of 2026 this year, which is going to be Wednesday. So please check out the tdc.org website where families can become involved. We always say well, what is it that we can do? Guys, this is something you can do. They also host a community party the day before. So that's another way to plug in. But nevertheless, as you can see, besides healthcare, advocacy is something that we both have in common. And Keona, did you actually grow up in Nashville? Tell us a little bit about that story, if you don't mind.
Yes, so I originally grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was going to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta as a young girl. And through the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, I was connected with Camp Krazy Legs. Camp Krazy Legs is a camp for children with spina bifida. And with that camp, that's where my advocacy started at an early age. I was able to connect with other leaders with spina bifida, young and older, and they even had modules for us, leadership modules. And those leadership models impacted me of where I am today because they increased the support that I had to be able to be a true advocate.
You did a recent TEDx talk. Can you tell us more about that talk? And in addition, I will kind of link it up to the show notes as well.
Yes. So I recently did a TED Talk on the medical home accessibility model, and this is something true to my heart because as a person with a lived experience, I was going to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta from the time I was a baby all the way until I was 21. Once we turn 21, we're expected to transition into adult care, and that transition can be kind of a challenge. It's a challenge because most people don't have the access to the gap of care and making sure that they're able to apply the needs. So spina bifida is something that is mostly done with pediatric care. There's not many specialties of doctors in adult care that know about my condition. And I recently moved to Nashville and I've had a wonderful experience at Vanderbilt. But during my internship, I was learning more about many other children with special healthcare needs and adults with special healthcare needs and that gap. And it motivated me to discuss it within my TED talk about the importance of having a medical home model and having that continuity of care.
Awesome, Keona. And adaptability beyond limits. Tell me more about that.
Yes, this is a business that I'm working on launching, and it is made and designed to change the narrative from disability to adaptability. Although disability has never been a bad word, I just think it's so important for disability communities to know that we can overcome adversity and that we shouldn't have to limit ourselves because of society. I think we can really change the world by changing the perspectives of our mind. And I would offer mentorship as well as apparel services to build that sense of confidence that I'm building today.
As far as your career, adaptability beyond limits is certainly within that scope. But as far as your future career and avenues you would like to explore within the public health, policy side of things, where are you being led, or where do you feel like you're being led at present?
Currently, I believe that my purpose is within disability equity and maternal child health. I think there are so many initiatives, and I think that it's important for representation as well, because when a youth in a wheelchair or a youth with a disability sees another youth, like somebody that once was a youth, and they're being able to be in advocacy and they're able to learn and accomplish things that, weren't, or I'm not going to say weren't, but, they're able to accomplish great things, then I think that that shows a lot of disabled people, hey, I can be a teacher. Hey, I can be a doctor. Hey, I can be an advocate. I can learn my information so that I can speak up for myself once I become older. And I believe that the spaces that I've been in is teaching me about accessibility, emergency preparedness, and just ways that I can be a better advocate and leader.
Emergency preparedness. That's honestly, I haven't really thought about that. Can you maybe shine more light on that, if that's all right?
Yes. So with Adaptability Beyond Limits, my long-term goal is to provide a transitional home. I think about emergency preparedness because I think about the people with disabilities that don't have the instinct of survival and the support. And I've seen where recently there was a California wildfire and there was so many people with disabilities that were left behind. So how do we implement the support ahead of time to protect and support the needs of everyone? And with emergency preparedness, I just believe there should be opportunities for everyone to be able to grow and to succeed within their communities.
What are the future plans for Keona? What are you looking forward to for 2026?
The future plans for me this year is to graduate. I finally am graduating in May 2026 and beginning to start and going into my career. Yes. I've been in my program for 2 years, so I'm excited to transition out of academia and into career-focused opportunities.
Well, Keona, I'm just wishing you the best of luck in all your future endeavors. So incredibly proud of you and the values and commitment that you represent, not only for to be honest, the disability community, but actually to all young people. And thank you so much for the incredible work you do. And as a side note, I so would love to invite you back once you get Adaptability Beyond Limits going for you to use or share this platform to get the message out of the work that you are doing. So without further ado, before we conclude, are there any words that you would like to leave us with? You are welcome to have the microphone.
I want to leave everyone with the message. I believe disability is not a deficit. I think disabled voices should be heard, and learning your community, your neighborhood, and the things going on, and being able to show your voice and show your knowledge and talk to the leaders that are able to make actionable policies is very important. And I think at an early age, it's important to do that research and to speak up for yourself.
Thank you so much, Keona. And just to end off, I would like to remind folks that next week, Thursday and Friday from 5 to 7 is Katie Moore's conference called Power in Our Voice. Just would highly recommend that you sign on and join us for a fantastic conference. Again, this is just from 5 to 7 p.m. and I will be sure to attach those links to social media posts as well as the show notes. Keona, you have a great weekend, my dear, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you. I will be supporting Katie. I also serve on a Tennessee Developmental Disabilities Council as a council member. So even the advisory boards have really helped and shaped the way that I have been able to advocate for myself.
As always, guys, remember, be safe. And as always, remember, get to the top of your mountain. This is Marsh Naidu signing off.